Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Naka Design. This is going to be a relatively short thrift haul video, and I'll just give you a second to take in the wonder of this, fabric, but this is a little girl's dress. And I don't know about you, but when I look at this, I think of washi tape. So I wanted to get on here and look at this lovely flower. I certainly don't remember dresses like this when I was a kid. And of course, because I only have grandsons, I haven't seen, what today's kids are wearing. But it's got this sheer fabric. It's got like a polyester type lining. It's got a little bit of tulle here to poof the dress out. So now that I have shown this to you, I can begin taking it apart. And it's quite, what size is this anyway? Oh, somebody's cut the tag out. It's quite a full skirt. You probably can't see it all, but it's, well, I'd say 30 inches or so across the bottom of the skirt. So once I take this part off, I'll see what I actually have, but I just thought it was beautiful. And I'm not sure whether you can tell or not, but even the part in between has like well, I don't know what the word is, but it's almost like a watermark of design. So it is gorgeous. And that was a Value Village purchase on a senior's discount day. So if I would have allowed myself, I could have bought so many more dresses. But then I thought, hey, you've got to use what you have already. Again, I was amazed at. Now, this is a Woodward's price tag from who knows when. Woodward's has a retail store, long gone. And I'm not really sure. I paid 49 cents for this. I'm not sure that I needed this, but honest to goodness, who can resist? I have these sorts of things, these tiny little rolls. What are they? About an inch and a half. Excuse me. And I have used them in the past. I'm just digging out a ruler for the books. I will be combining books this time. I have used these in the past for the base for snippet rolls. So, yeah. Pretty darn cute. And for 10 cents a roll, what's not to love? Canon. I wonder what they use these for. Oh, I guess adding machines? Who knows? I don't need to know. I also bought, I didn't realize there were 10 of them, but basically just seam binding in colors that I thought I could use. I didn't realize this one was twill tape, but of course, these lighter colors I will be throwing into a cup of coffee or something. Or, well, maybe I'll leave them white until I know what color I want, because sometimes you just can't, you don't have the color you actually need. Now this is a bookmark. It says Korean traditional image. I paid 50 cents for this because yellow tags were half price. Now I do have a bookmark collection. So I suppose, oh, that broke off. It says vintage schoolhouse work depicting a schoolmaster punishing a disciple, which automatically brings smiles to viewers. Well, yeah, that would. I think what I'll do is fix this with our glitter glue. This is probably really old, and that's why it came off. Anyway, let me set this aside. But that's, oh, it's like a little tiny fan. Can't even tell what this is. But anyway, okay, I'll repair that. I guess if there was a worldwide shortage of packaging, I would keep this, maybe. Well, I might anyway, because it's white, so it's not that difficult to, not as difficult to cover as sometimes. Oh, the proverb says the fan brings good luck. Well, hey, who doesn't need good luck? Cool. I didn't realize that at the time I bought it. Now, I did buy a bit of, oh, here's, I love these kinds of flags, page flags. I should keep one in my travel crafting bag, because sometimes when you're flipping through a book, you want to mark the page, and yeah, that's what I'll do with that. I did buy some jewelry. Now, some of it, I paid full price for this. Recently, well, during an online auction, it wasn't a planned thing, because trust me, when I look at auction listings, oh my goodness, I do make a list of the lots that I'm interested in, and I keep an eye on them. And then depending where the bids are going, I either bid or walk away. And these are clip-ons. In a recent auction, I did bid on successfully some cameos. So expect some cameos to be showing up in my work. Anyway, I thought those were pretty. The other two pieces of jewelry were half price, so that is always a good thing. All the stones are intact on this, so that's great. I will separate them, and then if I can bring myself to it, use each of these separately on a journal cover. Now, I do have at least one, and possibly more, I can't even remember, boho journals in the works. So, oh, that's the trick. Yikes. And these, believe it or not, are earrings. Now that I've opened the bag, I realize that they are plastic, which is great, because it doesn't add any weight and hardly any height. I can break the post, remove the post, end up with essentially 4 pieces. So that always makes a girl's heart happy. And this was half price, so I paid $1 for those. Let me set this aside. The only other fabric-y type thing was this set of 8 napkins, I guess. They're not placemats. So they've got the scalloped edge. They've got this bit of, I think that's called drawn thread. And, of course, a little cut work here. So, and, of course, a lovely neutral color and a kind of a, I don't know if you can see, kind of a slubby weave to it. So I'm sure that is linen. Because I have so little wallpaper, gift wrap, I bought this. Now, I don't know. I'm not a Delft China collector or anything like that. Blue isn't necessarily my favorite color either. But isn't there something just fresh and crisp and so, I don't know, so appealing about blue and white? So anyway, that'll go into my collection. I am a sucker for fancy file folders. I would never, ever, ever pay the retail price on them. I got 6 in here for $3 less 30%. So I don't know. You do the math. But I just thought these were awesome. I have been using these kind of decorative, heavy-duty file folders to store digitals that I've printed, like that I've bought and printed. So, and because I don't want to mar the surface, I then just paperclip a Post-it to it saying, you know, who I bought it from and maybe the name of the kit if I feel so inclined or remember. But anyway, I'll add that to my little stash of those. I bought a couple of boxes that appear to be full. I think they're both still sealed, of resume paper. They're both ivory, and you know they've got, now it says 100% cotton, so we know that this is going to be beautiful paper. $1.99 a box, less 10%. No, I won't drag all this up onto the desk. I don't know if I needed this or not, but I bought it because it was nice and clean and because, you know, all of these dividers are intact. I'm still trying to get a handle on my jewelry, like not jewelry, on beads. So this may come in handy for that. At least that's the justification I used. Now in this store, now all this was I did in Calgary. I picked up a bunch of these plexi type things because they were so darn affordable. So this, I don't know, 15 inches by almost 8, $1.49. Now, because it kind of has this ribbed bottom, I don't know if these things were intended for, whoops, the fridge. 3 of these, 79 cents each. Like, you can't buy a coffee for that price. Whoops. And then 99 cents for these 2 bigger ones, and this one was 49. So expect me to be so darn organized, you will want to stand back and curtsy or something, or applaud. I'll let you know if that day happens. And then, well, I didn't intend to. This kind of a wall-mounted document sorter. I do have $1.99. I do have space, well, maybe, on the wall in my wall-to-wall closet. And I'm thinking, not that these hold that much, but I'm thinking, well, for $2, I wasn't about to leave it behind. If it works as I envision, it could hold, you know, specialty paper, some dyed papers, my piano roll dyed paper, or, you know, vellum or something like that, because I'm finding that things that are more visible are the things that are getting used. Now this book, the rest is books. I just need to put this acrylic stuff out of the way so I can move the books. Okay, Between Friends. Now this book is big, so it's about 14 by 10 1/4. I hope I can, yeah, I can open. And it looks like it's between friends, Canada and the US. So isn't this great? 1976. Okay, why are they talking about the Film Board of Canada? Okay, 1976 was produced to honor the American Revolution bicentennial, is presented as an enduring expression of the friendship of Canadians for the people of the United States of America. Huh. Looks like we gave you a present. I'm sure you really appreciated all the French in there. List of photographers, so English, French. Look at all, see, I didn't take, I mean, this is something you can hardly handle in a thrift store, but look at this. Okay, Northwest. So we've got the Northwest Territory, well, Yukon, and Alaska. I'm not going to show you every page, but let's just get a feel for what's going on here. Now, I could make envelopes. Ooh, I got a buxom young lady over there. We worry when you look hard at us, but we're also touchy about being overlooked. Isn't that the truth? I don't know that has changed. That was the Prime Minister of the day saying that. Or no, I guess he said that in 1963. Actually, this guy, Lester B. Pierce, not this guy, but the Prime Minister of the day was the one that oversaw the switch to the Canadian maple leaf as our flag. Okay, Robert Louis Stevenson in 1878 said, "For my part, I travel not to go anywhere, but to go. I travel for travel's sake. The great affair is to move." I think that's true. Oh, that's in French. Could they not have translated it? So I, of course, didn't read all that introductory part. To know the meat of the buffalo tastes the same on both sides of the border. Attributed to Sitting Bull, chief of the Sioux, who crossed the border following the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876. I guess it's going to be a combination of border crossing. Oh, this looks like a rutted wagon trail. A blade of grass is always a blade of grass, whether in one country or another. How to Write Women. This book needs to be savored. Now, are they including Alberta in the plains, or are they? But just look at this. And of course, you know, both our countries have changed in the last almost 50 years. It looks like it's going to be a combination of pictures. There's a post office at Danville, Washington. Okay, Henry David Thoreau, of course, wrote Walden Pond and other type things in the 1854. He said, "I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. We are, for the most part, more lonely when we go abroad among men than when we stay in our chambers. A man thinking or working is always alone. Let him be where he will." So, Isn't that some of us in our craft rooms? Anyway, I didn't mean to linger that long, but on this one book, because, but I haven't flipped through it myself. I always feel like, oh, keep the stuff intact until you show your subscribers, and then you're free to do with it as you will. Anyway, you get the gist of that. This was a treat and a half. And it's a heavy one. Now this is a treat. I paid considerably more for it. It is a German book in darn good condition. Almost 8 3/4 by 5 3/4, considering, and I didn't pay $15 for it. I had to put this clamp on here because the book itself was in optimum, awesome condition for 1854, but I must have squished it in the packing when I added stuff to it, so I still need to try to smooth out these corners. But look at this. This is that old, well, I'm sure it's rag paper. It is that gothic-y looking German, and you can feel the print. I have no idea under the sun what this is about. A lot of foxing, so we don't need any coffee dye here. And then it's got one of those lovely, I don't know how or what, like what you call that or how they do it, but so when I have finished hoarding this, I will gut it and probably bundle some of the pages for sale, because I don't know how often any of us can find books this old. Oh, we got a little boo-boo here. That looks like ink. I hope that's ink. Oh, if you could feel this paper. And why is this so much whiter? Anyway, yeah. Oh, maybe if I just put a weight on it now, it'll flatten out. Okay, let's keep going. There was a coffee, blah, blah, blah. There was a display of coffee table books, buy one, get one. So I got this. This was the first one I found that kind of appealed to me, because it had that collage-y type look to it. Now, I don't know, this is sewn in, so that's great. So these could definitely be the basis for an altered book or an art journal. Did I tell you what the title was? I think it's something about everyday heroes, ordinary heroes. The world knows little of its greatest heroes. Same kind of a cover. I didn't measure this one, but where is the date? Pray tell. Maybe this is one of those at the back. 2003, so it's not old, but it just had a lot of possibilities, I thought, for collage or it's so big I'm having trouble making it fit here. Look, Fussy cut that flower. Pinwheels. So again, I haven't even flipped through this all other than what I'm showing you now. Okay, so that was the one with the price tag. Now, I had a hard time picking another one because, to be honest, it didn't appeal to me. But I did pick this, Betty Crocker's Kitchen Secrets. 1983, somebody's written. So, you know, again, the appeal here are these black and white drawings, and even these full color page. Let me just check on the date. I've got what do you call it? Coaster for my coffee mug. It's in the way. So that's cool. Yeah, 83. So, you know, something like that is so nice and graphic for maybe if I ever finish those blush journals, I should do a cook or homemaking arts or some kind of a book. But yeah, I think this is a pretty darn nice book. Do you want to cut up a chicken? Or do you want it already roasted at the store? And then a little carry thing. Ooh. Yikes. Need I say more? Need I say more? Need I say more? So yeah, I was happy to get that. Not too many more to go, guys. Now, I think I might have said in a previous video that my dad, because of flat feet and a couple missing fingers, was not able to do active duty in the war. So he was an army cook instead. And actually, when I was a toddler, my mom and dad cooked at a logging camp. And the only reason I have any recollection of that is because I've seen the odd photo. Anyway, then they, in 1966, bought a bakery and ran a very successful from-scratch bakery for 25, I don't know, a lot of years, 25 years maybe. So I'm thinking there might be a bread book in my future. Oh, is there any, I don't know, is that poppy seed? Is there anything better than a poppy loaf? And because poppy paste, which is the thing that they use for that, is so very expensive, you could spend $12, $15 for a little tiny poppy seed bread. I mean, those are today's prices, so who knows? Maybe now you need a mortgage to get one. So I was glad to have that one. This I thought was interesting. I don't know if I'll ever do it. Retail price $23.95, and it's skinny. But it made me think of Rachel, Roxy's Creations, because she has a woven rag fabric bowl on her table that she throws her garbage in, paper garbage. And I thought at one time she was selling them through her shop. But it says, it seems to be making it sound that wrapping clothesline with fabric strips? That's what gives it its... Anyway, I clearly I didn't read this. But, and frankly, let's be realistic. I'll probably never get to the point of actually making one. But, you know, it looks like just a regular sewing machine. I mean, obviously it gets a little trickier once the bowl gets a bit bigger. Preventing floppy baskets. I don't know. I certainly have enough scraps. These pictures look good enough to eat too. They're just so... Oh, I forgot to look the date up. 2006. So that's getting up there too. But they really do seem to be works of art. And then they've, been embellished too. Like that wasn't enough. Look at the fancy. Oh, I guess you can have handles on. Or maybe that was not a handle, a cover. Anyway, I just thought it would be cool to know a bit more about her. Oval basket with lid. Oh, a purse. Can you imagine how how beautiful this could be if we used our favorite fabric? Flared edge basket. Anyway, you probably don't care as much about this as I do. Whole cloth fabric plate. Huh. How to make a whole cloth fabric plate. Coiled plate. This looks like a mini rag rug. I remember when those were a hot item. I don't know why I've now encountered a couple of these Frank Lloyd Wright books. I mean, not this particular one, but I had one of his the other day in a video that I made. I think most of us are familiar with his name and sort of the look of his creations. This is sewn in, fat little book. So I think this could easily be used in a project of some sort. And certainly a person could make 100 tags out of these pages as well. Anyway, so that was cool. This I started reading in the car because, of course, I went some schmutz on there. I wasn't the driver. Oh, nice green cover. And mint. So Our Mother's Portraits by 72 Women Photographers. Now, this was from the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. So, why did I think the 70s? Anyway, published in 1996, which is still quite a long time ago. I was surprised at how many mothers agreed to be photographed in the nude. That takes some kind of guts, I would say. I didn't finish reading it, but I was reading these snippets. So there's the photographer, there's the mother. Sometimes they've used, a lot of these people, photographers, seem to be from Paris. Sometimes they've used modern for the day, photos, or they used vintage ones. So this is almost like a collage of photos. Some are more like portraiture. Anyway, the point I was trying to make, I got up as far as here, so I guess I was close to being finished. The portraiture, now this lady's kind of discreet. She's got, is that daughters and mothers, there is that dynamic. And it is either one of love and affection, or it is the opposite. These two came from an antique mall. This one I don't quite understand, and of course, not here, somewhere here, some pages were cut out. But I found it interesting that on this side, they have this space where you could enter a land location. Now, I don't know, well, I shouldn't imagine, I guess. In Canada, land is divided into quarter sections and townships and ranges. Oh, did somebody write, or is that just an impression from a previous page? Very light markings. Anyway, it is empty, because I guess they ripped out the pages that had been written on. A really cute size, and this is leather. So maybe with a bit 7 1/4 by almost 5. With a bit of cleaning, I think this could be a really cute book for me to use, you know, just when you want to take some notes and want a lovely tactile book in your hands. This one is called Smith's Interest Tables. Love the color, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Like, show me a burgundy book I don't love. And it is I thought there was a date in here, 1875. So again, is this not great? Page after page after page of numbers, because of course all it is an amount. So 25, well, let's do 25. $25. If you borrowed it at 7%, there's our years, months, days, what the interest would be. So couldn't leave these guys behind. And that particular antique mall had 20% off. Now, you probably have to be a certain vintage yourself to know what Gestetner was. What I have vague recollections of that. It was a gigantic machine, almost like with a drum or something on it. So I think that they would put the original thing on, you know, attach it to this drum and then crank it. I think it had to be hand cranked, and it printed, you know, stuff in school. Now, there was the Gestetner machine. They also talked about mimeograph. So anyway, this is basically clip art from back in the day. Gestetner, of course, no longer is in existence, but I thought that this would be kind of a cool tool to have in my arsenal. Getting to the end, guys. Now, which one should I make the grand finale here? We know that Angela and Carol have started a hashtag called Bolo Books, Bolo Book, B-O-L-O, be on the lookout, books. And Diane Hubert from Pretty Pink Cottage, I'm pretty sure it was her. It showed some of the books in her stash, and one of them was Shabby Chic. Now, the thing about Rachel Ashwell is that about the time, okay, get this. Kids were still at home. They bought us, they physically, for one occasion or the other, I don't know if it was Christmas or anniversary or whatever, bought us a satellite dish. Like, here is a satellite dish in a box. I think they paid $100 for it. Now, you know, apparently Mama didn't raise no fool with those kids, because that was the easy part. That was the cheap part. It's the ongoing monthly subscription kind of thing. So that was the beginning of a whole new world for us, because up until that point, we were watching peasant TV. CTV, CBC, and Global were the channels, so 3 channels. And, sometimes kind of slim pickings. And if you didn't see it that day, the day it was broadcast, maybe like you were hooked on the Beverly Hillbillies or something, or Rifleman, or I'm thinking about some of those early shows. If you didn't watch them the day that they were broadcast, well, you were SOL. So, anyway, we finally get a satellite dish because, of course, what good is a dish without the subscription that goes with it? And, of course, I was hooked on HGTV. Like, I knew, and there was another channel, maybe DIY, I don't know, in the beginning. Anyway, they sort of rebrand every so often. There was Make and DIY and whatever. Hooked on HGTV. I knew all the hosts. I knew their names. I didn't know their children, but, I knew everything because I was watching religiously. And Rachel Ashwell had a show at that time. So, of course, the white painted, kind of scuffed up furniture, old linens, hankies and cabbage roses and teapots and dried up flowers. So I kind of coveted some of that stuff. I don't think that decorating with white is particularly family friendly or user friendly, but there was something aspirational about what she was doing. So anyway, I found not 1, but 2 copies of this book in the same store. And I had to pay a bit for them. I don't know if I am going to hang on to both of them, or if I will make one available for sale or what. But in the meantime, I'm going to drool over this one for a while. Read the text, like old decorative boxes. And I think she was kind of the first of, her type, her kind. Of course, there's, much of this that has come later. What year is this anyway? Did I say? Was it 96? Look at this. That's how we need to display our remnants. Can you imagine? They'd probably get used. There's nothing Marie Kondo about that. Yeah, 96. So if you haven't seen it, now she has another title that probably followed this one. Refurbishing old chandeliers. So I have a walk-in closet. Now, I could have found a chandelier to put in it, but practicality says, no, I want decent lighting. I want to be able to tell navy from black. So, part of me loves the look, and then part of me, the practical side, said, yeah, but white? No. So, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those voyeuristic kind of things. I've done some upholstery projects, nothing really, complicated. Anyway. Kind of this sort of thing kind of reminds me of the uppercase books that Angela showed and that are on my birthday wish list. Ruffled pillows. I mean, yeah, well, ruffled edges on the pillows. Anyway, You get the gist of this. I won't show every single page. Sepia colored. See, I don't know. Maybe some of us are, I guess some of us are clearly wired differently. A lot of people would look at this and think, OMG, it's over the top, it's cluttered, who's going to dust all that? And then some of us think, I could look at this for days because there's so much to see here. The scroll work, the filigree, the little box that, oh no, that's a painting, I guess, or is that a cover? I don't know, whatever. You know, the exploration and the discovery. Anyway, enough about that. And I will end with a book I didn't know existed. I do not already have a copy, and I was so thrilled to find this. It's Janet March's Nature Diary, 11 by 9. So, the dust cut, look at this, kind of a marbly, this looks like handmade paper, it's not obviously, marbly, and then this gold embossed leaf here. Somebody clearly cut out the inscription, but it is pristine. I guess the date is up front, 79. So, you know, this is done in the style of Edith Holden, but I find that much more delicate. And, well, maybe delicate is the word. So here's kind of a drawing. Her cows don't look particularly good, but hey. Large cows. Canadian geese. Okay, there those are. Anyway, the paper is lovely and matte. It's all watercolor. Now there are these tiny little things that could be fussy cut. Bigger things that could become tags. This guy is maybe too ugly to use. And her style, well, we haven't, or maybe you can't see. Well, I'll get to another page and I'll show you that her penmanship is quite a bit different than Edith Holden's. I don't know, maybe if I lift this up you can see it. Not the easiest thing in the world to read. Emerald green turf found by the river. But I think once you figure out, you know, what her letters look like, it's easy enough to. But because this is my, excuse me, my only copy, how can I use it? I love, love, love the look of that leaf. Because we've all encountered leaves like that. Now, I think this woman lived in England. Yeah, English Valley. A cattail. We have cattails in our ditches. She's done a cross-section of one of these spikes. I never would have known that. And again, you know, a cattail is almost like a chocolate brown in color. So you can see that her colors are more subdued. Look at this. And this is what I mean about her writing. It is, it's beautiful, but it is different and sometimes a wee bit hard to read. Fungi. Now this squirrel, I thought, oh, how did she do that? And why does he look dead? Well, it turns out, in fact, I started to draw a squirrel which had fallen foul of my father-in-law's shotgun. This pretty gray-brown, rat-like creature had tempted Providence and dug up all the crocus bulbs. I had been there at the kill, and although I'd been sorry and reproachful, it proved to be an ideal opportunity for getting to know the shape and color of the animal. Hey, and that is part of the life-death cycle. And anyone who lives in the country knows that. The lowly dandelion, has it ever looked better? So, you know, she'll do a bunch of greenery, and then she'll do the larva of the alder fly in, you know, various stages of development. Pussy willow. Okay, I can't show you every page. However, I will flip through. That is beautiful. Leaves of the wild carrot. Didn't know there was such a thing. Now, I guess if I do dismantle this book, there will be several pages. Oh, that cuts into that. I was going to say there will be several pages where a person could use the image, that one and that one, if I wanted to. Although, why would I want to? Well, maybe. Look at those Canada geese. Oh, and she's divided this up by months. This too is just, there's something wild and organic about it. The tendrils, the roots, the beautiful. Those berries look good enough to eat. I didn't finish looking at this book. These earth tones to drool over. To Grandma from Tamara and Trevor. Well, good kids. Look at that dragonfly. Is that not the most perfect dragonfly you've ever seen? How about a page full of bugs? Now, don't ask me how you draw a grasshopper, or any of these things for that matter, when they don't exactly stop and pose, do they? This is gorgeous. Oh, she stuck a vole or a mole? A mole. What the heck is that? 28. A house mouse. Yuck. A frog. A slug. Is that a slug? No, snail. So anyway, yeah, I would say if you ever see this, grab it. Flag iris. Oh, yuck. Swans. See what I mean about more soft and delicate? This fish, too bad he's sprawled across 2 pages. Marsh marigold. It looks like you could feel that leaf. Oh, here's another dead bird. A pigeon. That's lovely too. Anyway, that, my lovelies, is it for today. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing some things that you may not have seen before. And I will definitely see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.